My name is Mariyam. I'm going to start by reading a poem written by Nabila Khan, a lovely lady that I got to meet recently. She is the author of the book called No Peace to Run the Olive Tree, Poems for Palestine. The poem is called We March. Bismillah. We march with hearts that beat, never shy for justice and peace. Our fight to free Palestine will never cease. So let us walk where injustice dares not stand. We will make our voices heard. We protest hand in hand. Hearts bleed, but all agreed. Nothing in life is guaranteed. But our protests and boycotts will succeed, and Palestine will be freed. This is a fight for the right to exist, for them to exist. For humanity, we never lose hope. Never quit the fight. Never forget Palestine. Red, green, black and white. I recently had the chance to visit the blessed land of Palestine and the beautiful Masjid al-Aqsa with my family. This was a spiritual journey and one that will live with me for the rest of my life. I pray from the bottom of my heart that each and every one of you get to go one day, inshallah. Inshallah. Palestine is the land of the prophets. It is the land of virtue and reward. It is the land of olives. It is the land that belongs to the strongest people we know. And it is the land that has woken up the hearts of the world. Subhanallah. I made lots of dua there. I prayed for Al-Aqsa to be free. I prayed to return again and again. I prayed for the killing to stop. I prayed for Palestine to be free. Inshallah, one day, soon, Palestine will be free. Keep marching, keep boycotting, keep showing up for Palestine, and more importantly, keep praying for Palestine. Free, free, Palestine! Free, free, Palestine! Jazakallah for listening.
Thank you, Jazakallah. Thank you so much.
Well done, Mariyam, well done.
Mashallah, beautiful little poem. And it's quite fitting to have a child come and doing the poem after I've just done about that child who unfortunately was suffering. We have got a few talkers here. We will keep them short and sweet, but it's important to listen to one another to see, to let it out, if that makes sense. Our next talker is... Hold on 1 second. Where's your list, man?
You mean the list that I sent you?
Yes, I've got it here.
Louise, is it?
There we are.
Louise.
If you could give a warm welcome to Louise Regan, who is the chair of PSC, please. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you, Louise.
Avoiding the sun. Hi everyone, my name is Louise Regan. I'm chair of the Palestine Solidarity Campaign, but I'm also a teacher in Nottingham, a member of the National Education Union, a union that I'm very proud of, which has fought for justice for the Palestinians since the 1980s. And we will continue to fight until we get justice for the Palestinians. Firstly, I want to give a massive shout out to the Health Workers for Palestine. They're always amazing and they are tireless in the work that they do. And thank you to all of you for being here. And sometimes people say to me, marching isn't important, marching doesn't matter. Every little action that you do makes a difference to the Palestinian people because they see you and they hear you and they know that they are not forgotten. So I have many, many friends in Palestine. Whenever I post about marches or actions, they always see what we are doing and understand the importance of that. So please keep marching, keep boycotting, keep putting pressure on your local councils to divest, and keep putting pressure on our government to issue sanctions on Israel. I have to say, I have been active in the Palestine movement for decades, but what we have witnessed over the last 3 years has to be the worst that I have ever seen. The situation in Gaza is horrific. This week, I went to watch a film called Life Support. And if you haven't seen that documentary, you should see it. It is doctors who are going out with medical aid for Palestinians talking about the work they were doing there at the heart of the genocide. And if ever our government or any politician tells you they didn't know, they are lying, because those doctors have come back and they have told everyone what they have seen. Not just with their words, with photos, with video footage. It is horrific. But it's also horrific across the West Bank. There has been a huge attack and increase in violence. In the last 2 years, more land has been stolen from the Palestinians than in the last 20 years combined. And more Palestinians have been killed in the West Bank in the last year than since records were starting to be kept. This is a complete assault and an attempt to erase the Palestinian people from their land. And we have to do more. And I'll end with this, because I know we're short on time. One day, everyone will say to you that what happened in Gaza and Palestine was wrong. One day, everyone will say that. But we will know that we were never silenced. We will know that we spoke out from the start and we did not allow ourselves to be silenced. And we will know that we stood on the right side of history. And the final thing I will say is this, and this is a message to Andy Burnham. Andy Burnham said Labour got it wrong on Palestine. Well, I say to you, Andy Burnham, words are not enough. We need your actions. Sanctions now and stop arming Israel. Solidarity.
Thank you, Louise. Louise is 100% right there, because we must keep the actions up. There is one thing I've heard today and 100% agree with, where we say, when it comes to history books telling, that's historical, but I will tell you one thing, we need to remember in the present tense. Right now, what we are doing is the right thing. Every action you take is the right thing right now. When you boycott right now, you are doing the right thing. When you turn up to a march, it is the right thing. So every single thing we are doing is right now is correct. And it doesn't matter what anybody says, we are 100% on the right side of humanity, full stop. So keep doing what you're doing, and it is right now. The history books will say one thing and one thing only. Well, I can't say it because I'm on a microphone, but I'll say it to you individually afterwards. But they are unbelievably barbaric. There is no other word to describe. Benjamin Netanyahu, Ben Gvir, they're sadistic maniacs. They are psychopaths. It's as simple as that. I've never seen anybody in my life with that much lack of humanity. Animals have more care. And speaking of that, we have brother Sijaad here, who went on the flotilla. Now these people deserve a massive, massive round of applause for what they went through. So brother Sijaad will be telling us about his experience, because what they went through is something that is unimaginable, but he'll tell us. Thank you.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام عليك سيدنا رسول الله وآلك وصلى sorry
Try it now.
وآلك وصحبه حبيب الله. First of all, my brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I would like to thank the organisers for organising such a beautiful event, and especially you, brothers and sisters and children that have turned up today. It's been mentioned at the start and at the end, it's not the numbers. You're right. The brothers are right. It's not the numbers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you the tawfiq to come out here. Those that are sitting at home, Allah has not chosen them for this work. Allah has chosen you for this work. You have been rewarded, inshallah, for every step you've taken. I'll go on to the Global Smooth Flotilla. As you've heard, the boats have been going to Gaza regularly. In the early days, the boats did reach Gaza, but the last couple of flotillas, last year, last summer, and this spring, they were the biggest flotillas to go. We had almost 85 boats that attempted to go to Gaza. The brothers have mentioned, the sisters have mentioned, the atrocities, the Zionist commit. I had first-hand experience in those atrocities. It's not just the male. Generally, you associate sexual assaults by males on females, but unfortunately, the Zionist society have females committing sexual assault on females. I was in Turkey when I returned last time. I was sitting in reception. A sister came up to me and sat down to me first thing in the morning. I prayed Fajr. I was sitting in reception, and she just blurted out what happened to her. What could I say to her? I could not do anything to her. All I said to her, we're coming back home. First thing, get to the doctors. And so now every time I see her, all she says to me is, thank you very much, brother, for listening to me. So It's an evil society. It's not about us. It's not about the Fatila. It's not about us marching here. It's about the Palestinians, and it's about all the oppressed people across the world. We need to raise a voice. I've seen the Kashmiri flags here. Alhamdulillah. Thank you for coming out for the Kashmiri brothers and sisters. It's happening in Sudan. It's happening in Yemen. It's happening in Iraq. It's happening in Libya. The Uyghur brothers and sisters. We need to raise a voice for them. We are here. We are free to raise this voice. We have got Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that if you see atrocities happening, stop with your hands. If you cannot do it with your hands, with your voice. If not, in your heart, and that's the lowest form. So we are at that middle level. We're saying stop it, stop it, stop it. Going back to the Fatila, like I said, first time they attacked us with water cannons. They abducted us, took us to Kitsoy prison. This time round, they attacked us. They actually shot at us. My own captain of my boat got a rubber bullet in his leg. Several people were shot, and they kept us on their pirate ships. I call them pirate ships, not navy boats, on metal containers. We were on there 2 nights and 3 days in freezing weather. Literally, as you can see, the youngsters wearing here t-shirts and bottoms. That's all we were wearing. And some people were stripped of those clothes as well. That's what the Zionists did. They're evil. They're evil. You cannot compare them to animals. They wouldn't give any food. They wouldn't give any water. Wouldn't give any medication to anyone. So we had to actually protest on the boat. That's when they took away Thiago and Saif. You heard about Thiago and Saif. They're the two of the leaders of the Global Smooth Fatila. I'd like to come to another point that the Freedom Fatila Coalition is part of the Global Smooth Fatila. They actually taken a boat from Bristol on the 16th of August. Please, if you can get down there, there's a launch off. Please support the launch. Please support the launch. And the other thing is, the brothers and sisters that we've been chanting along, shut Albert down. In Shenstone, Lichfield, near Walsall, Birmingham, we have a protest on the 22nd of August. Please come down there. I've got the flyers here. We've shared them out. We need to get numbers down there. We need to shut Albert down. And my brothers and sisters from Kashmir, you need to participate in this. Because last year when the Hindutva attacked Kashmir, the engines that were made here that go onto the drones landed in Kashmir, killing our brothers and sisters. So we need to support the closure of these. Wherever you can get to, please get to. And finally, I'd like to say, we're recruiting for the Global Smooth Fatila. Come and see me. If you want to join, you don't have to sail. You do not have to sail. We need ground support. We need IT support, legal support, fundraising, family and friend support. Please come and see me. Whatever support you can give, we need only 1 hour a week from you if you can give that. Jazakallah khair for listening.
Thank you so much, Sijaad. See, we've all seen what it's like on the pictures and the videos, but to actually hear it firsthand, it will always hit a note in your heart. Because what they go through daily, our Palestinians, man, is absolutely heartbreaking. And next we've got Brother Arif here, who is from Birmingham with the activist independent movement. He's travelled all the way up here from Dudley, so please give Brother Arif a big round of applause, please. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Free. I just want to thank everybody for coming out. Thank you for West Yorkshire for Palestine organising, all the other organisations for coming up to Yorkshire. It is really about the movement. Today marks at least 1,035 days. You know, you can't even make it up. Look at the world that we actually live in. You know, the world that we live in, that it takes so much death, and yet they won't call it a genocide. It just goes to show that the powerful nations have all the control, but the real control belongs to the people. So every single one of you that's come out today, you have the power, because when the people are united, they can never be defeated. It's you. Absolutely, give yourselves a round of applause. You're absolutely brilliant people. You're great humanitarians. You're a credit to yourself, to your families, to society. and more importantly to humanity. I can see lots of children here. You are absolutely great role models, and I promise you the children here, they will grow up to be even better than us. So can we just have the opportunity to thank our children who've come out today as well? Very important to involve our children. Thank you to all the mothers, the grandparents, the elderly, the ladies and the gents as well, because it's a collective responsibility. When people unite, they come together, that's when they can really make a difference. I just want to make 2 points. I'll keep it just brief because I know it's a very hot day. Most of you want to have some liquids and want to go back home. Really, the most important point is Israel is a terrorist state. Israel is a Israel is a Israel is a. We must keep on saying this. Now, when they say settlers, I know somebody else actually touched on this. I did talk about this point earlier on as well. We should refer to them as the terrorists. If you go back to the definition of a terrorism, that is the true definition. We must stop using terminology that is reflective from the media, from the mainstream politicians and these ethno-states that refer to certain words that you have to choose. We will refer to them as terrorists because they are the real terrorists. And look what's going on in the West Bank. Recently, a Christian village was actually incarcerated. Lots of people were actually lost their livelihoods, their homes were destroyed. Look what the terrorists are doing to the Christians. They're doing it to Christian villages, to Muslim villages. It is not about faith in Palestine, it is about being Palestinian because they refer to their land. And we must remind ourselves again and again, and when you're having these conversations, it is stolen land. The first conversation that you have with anybody, you can't live on stolen land. And please also talk about Jesus. Talk about Jesus that was born in Bethlehem. You will change the narrative very, very quickly. Lots of you here also, I just want to make a very, very important point. You are activists because you've come out, you're raising your voices, you're amplifying the voice, you're standing up for Palestinians. We must do boycott. We must do boycott and we must do it emphatically, and we must target the likes of McDonald's, Barclays, Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Lots of you are here. You will go to family gatherings. You will go to events. You will go to functions. I promise you, people are still drinking Coca-Cola and Pepsi. I say shame to them. Shame to them for supporting genocide enablers. But please, when you see something like this, call it out. Educate people, raise awareness, tell them no Coke, use alternatives. There are many, many alternatives. It is about speaking up, but it is also about action. So when you see something, call it out and act upon it and stop it from happening. I just want to thank the organizers, all the volunteers, everybody that supported this event. I promise you, it's not about numbers, it's about the quality. It was certainly about the quality. Our drummers were very, very magnificent. So please, a great appreciation, a round of applause for our drummers. I'm sure they're still here. They actually make lots of the optics of marches. The chanting is very, very powerful, and lots of other optics that come to the fore as well. On an extremely hot day, can you imagine all the energy that they've taken out? So it's absolutely brilliant. Nice to see a good array of people come out. Please continue speaking up. Please continue standing up for Palestine. Keep raising those voices. I promise you, history has taught us one thing, and on a final note, the righteous people are always proven right. And you, the righteous people, will be proven right, and Palestine will be free. Keir Starmer, he will see a free Palestine, and I promise you Trump will see a free Palestine. I promise you the Zionists will see a Palestine, and it will be crushed. Free, free. Palestine. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Arif. Right, the next gentleman, thank you so much to Brother Arif there. The next gentleman is Chris Nineham. Now, many of us are kind of new to doing activism and stuff, which is a beautiful, brilliant thing. Chris has been involved with it for decades and decades. So I'm going to hand over Chris, sorry, you'll have to excuse my throat. Because this is one of the champions that have done it for so long. And these champions are the reason why movements carry on. So Chris is from Stop the War. Give him a massive round of applause, please. Thank you.
Thanks for that introduction. Thanks for inviting me. And congratulations for another excellent demonstration for Palestine. The message you are sending is that this is a permanent movement and that it is not going to leave the streets until we win. We will be proving that again on the 3rd anniversary of the genocide, when there is, on the 10th of October, for the first time, a global day of demonstrations for Palestine. And we want to turn the British version of that global demonstration into another absolutely enormous display of support for the Palestinians and opposition to our government's collusion in the genocide. So start organising now. From every town, from every city in the area, we need to see a record turnout in London on the 10th. We are also sending a message to a new government, because as Andy Burnham himself has been at pains to point out, this is an opportunity for a reset. This is an opportunity for a new direction. So Andy Burnham says that Labour got it wrong over Israel, that Labour got it wrong over Palestine. Okay, good. But that means this new government has to do something about it. And in case some of his advisors are a bit fuzzy, a bit blurry about what doing something about Palestine means, let's spell it out for him. And Louise said quite clearly, it means end all arms sales to Israel now. It means break all political and diplomatic links with Israel now. It means sanctioning the Israeli economy until the genocide ends. And how about this? If you believe you got it wrong over Palestine, how about stop persecuting those of us who got it right? We're told there's a problem with overcrowded prisons. Well, I've got an answer to that. How about releasing the people whose only crime is to stand up for peace? Some people say that what happens over 6,000 miles away is of no interest to us, or is not important, or doesn't affect us. And I say these people are clearly wrong. The genocide in Gaza has been a catastrophe for the people of Palestine, but it has helped to create a new kind of foreign policy, a new kind of gangster imperialism, and it has created a toxic authoritarian atmosphere in British politics. And another thing, even the trade union leaders are now saying that the war on Iran, Trump's war of choice on Iran, is having a direct impact on the cost of living crisis here. And I salute them. I salute the trade union leaders who yesterday sent, with the exception actually of Sharon Graham and the leader of the GMB, the rest of the trade union leaders sent a letter to Andy Burnham saying that support for Trump's wars, that support and collusion, which is what he's doing for the war in Iran, has also got to stop. They say that people aren't interested in what goes on in other parts of the world, but the reality is, and this is something that Andy Burnham needs to take note of, the opinion polls themselves show that one of the reasons why Keir Starmer lost support, one of the reasons why support for Labour drained away at the recent council elections, was precisely because of concern over Palestine, was precisely over the fact that the British government is colluding in Trump's wars. And this leads me to my last point. We're constantly being told that we have to spend more money on weapons and war to ensure our security. We're constantly now being told that Russia and China are a daily threat to our lives, that they're attacking us every day. But absolute nonsense. Any remotely objective observer can see that what has made the world a much more dangerous place over the last few decades has been the attacks on Afghanistan, the attacks on Iraq, the attacks on Libya, and Trump's more and more crazed interventions in Venezuela, his threats against Canada, his threats against Cuba, his threats against Greenland, and the war he is conducting on Iran. If you want to point to the cause of the world being more volatile, being more dangerous, it is precisely the West's foreign policy. And yet they're saying we need to spend more weapons, we need to build more factories of destruction, we need to ship more missiles around the world. We have to end this logic. We have to stay in the streets over Palestine, but we also have to end this logic of war. All across Europe, governments are rearming, introducing conscription, spreading war fever, demanding cuts in welfare. And all across Europe, people are fighting back. The dockers in Genoa and Greece have announced an international day of strikes in ports around the world on the 30th of October against genocide and war. Students across Europe have called for a student day of action against conscription and the militarization of education on November the 20th. This is the kind of movement we need to build, a movement that says we should put wages before weapons, we should put jobs before bombs, we should put welfare before warfare. And we have got to stay in the streets until we win that kind of world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you very much for that, Chris. Right, the next speaker, I don't know if it needs an introduction, because I think anybody who's been to London will know the drummers and the healthcare workers and allies who bring the noise, and the noise they bring helps to bring a lot of attention. So if we could give a massive round of applause for Taby, who's come all the way from down south. Thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting us, everyone. It's an honor to stand with you. You guys make such an incredible effort to travel regionally, not just London. So we're honored to come here and join and support today. My name is Taby. I work in the health sector. I'm a clinical research scientist. And we're here today, along with every one of you, because we refuse to be bystanders and participants in one of the worst human catastrophes live streamed. We are watching the annihilation of a people with absolute clarity, despite the Epstein class's best efforts to shove propaganda down our throats to legitimize ethnic cleansing. Nothing is hidden, and we can see the ugly truth. When history looks back, what will you say you did during this second Holocaust to stop it? What will you say you did when Al-Aqsa was stormed, desecrated? When people were forcibly starved to death, babies slowly desiccating, and thousands of trucks of aid waiting at the borders. Sorry guys, the sun is blinding. So what will you say you did during this live streamed Holocaust? Will you say that you used your body to physically object to the genocide? Will you say you used your body to stop trucks loading drones, bullets and parts for F-35 trucks that are moving these from Elbit weapons factories located right here in the UK? Will you say you used your voice to verbally object to this genocide? Will you say that you gave up a few hours of your afternoon on a Saturday to mobilize and unite against genocide, to apply pressure on our respective governments to stop aiding and abetting genocide, or will you sit passively by? Israel is the biggest threat to global security, expanding their campaign of colonialism, destabilizing the entire Middle East and the world. We saw them launch an unprovoked terrorist attack on Iran, slaughtering 182 little girls aged 5 to 10. Israel and the US deliberately targeted schools and hospitals with their state-of-the-art technology. But what else do we expect from the Epstein class? Child molesters and baby killers, genocidaires. Yet they have the nerve to frame Iranians, Palestinians, or any Muslim country as terrorists. But we can see who the terrorists are. Let's not forget who are the perpetrators of all the world's greatest catastrophes. White Europeans inflicted slavery. It was white Europeans who inflicted the Holocaust on Jews. It was King Leopold who killed over 15 million in Congo, and more recently the US and UK slaughtering over 1 million in Iraq, destroying civilizations, displacing populations, creating a refugee crisis across the Middle East with their imperialistic wars based on lies to steal natural resources. And it's no coincidence that Gaza has a natural gas field with over 30 billion cubic meters of gas, which Trump and his cronies are salivating at. We are here because we refuse to be made unwilling participants in this genocide. With our MPs using our taxes and military resources to aid Israel and the US on their illegal wars on Gaza, West Bank, Lebanon, Syria, and beyond. Western imperialists have the nerve to talk about controlling borders, refugees, and migration crisis, with extremist MPs like Farage and Suella openly inflaming the far right to attack ethnic minorities, migrants, and refugees fleeing wars that their governments, our government, has perpetuated and inflicted. The answer is simple. If you don't want mass migration, stop bombing other people's countries and displacing them. Stop allowing the use of British bases and RAF resources to inflict genocide. War criminals, Smotrich, Ben Gvir and Netanyahu are now openly declaring intent to ethnically cleanse the West Bank, with over 1,200 killed since 2023. Performative lip service in the form of condemnation is not enough. A few weeks ago, MP Emily Thornberry chaired the inquiry into the Foreign Office, questioning Middle East Minister Hamish Falconer on why they haven't taken affirmative action after the ICC advisory opinion, which stated that Israel is committing plausible acts amounting to genocide, and the UN, which has declared that Israel is committing a genocide. Thornberry claimed the UK prided itself on compliance with international law. However, we have seen a complete and utter failure of our UK government's part in this regard. Why? Because our UK government was funded into power by the Zionist lobby, and their priority is to push the Zionist terrorist agenda as opposed to British interests. Criminalising its own citizens for opposing genocide and doing the job they failed to do, stopping arms to Israel. If the UK government stopped arming Israel and imposed economic sanctions, moral citizens wouldn't have to rise up and do their job for them. Instead of being regarded as heroes, the state has criminalized them under misuse and abuse of terrorism laws, infringing on our democratic rights of freedom of speech and expression, banning the Arabic words such as intifada or support for non-violent direct action groups, a move which was condemned by the head of the UN Human Rights Commission, Mr. Volker Turk. is the reality of the corrupt world we live in. Those inflicting genocide and raping children are glorified, and those subjected to genocide and opposing it are called terrorists. We demand Andy Burnham listen to the 80 lords and MPs who, along with the overwhelming majority of the British public, have demanded full economic sanctions and embargoes on Israel, US out of British bases, banning all Israeli settlement goods, diplomatic intervention for the release of Dr. Hussain, accountability for killing the British aid workers with the World Central Kitchen, and kidnapping, sexually abusing our British citizens on the flotilla. I ask you again, what are you going to say you did during this live stream genocide? If you want a safe world to exist in, then you must resist. When injustice becomes law, rebellion is a duty! Resistance is justified! When people are occupied, resistance is glorious. We will be victorious. We will be victorious. Resistance is glorious. We will be victorious. Thank you, everybody.
That is exactly what we needed. That passion you could feel, which was electric martial art. And you know what? That's exactly what we needed to hear, because it's straight to the point. A lot of people like to beat around the bush, you know, like rainbows and butterflies, but the truth is exactly how Taby said it there, exactly what's going on. We have got such bad stuff going on. Nobody talks about the Epstein files. Nobody talks about how bad this Zionist regime and how much this Zionist lobby has affected every single person across the four corners of the world. But there's one thing they didn't expect, is that people in the four corners of the world were going to rise up and stand against them, and we will keep standing against them, inshallah. And we've got our last speaker, which is Sister Lisa, who is from the Midlands, who has also travelled far today. So please give her a big round of applause. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I've been asked to say a few words today. I've not prepared anything, so it's going to be ad hoc. My name is Lisa. I'm half Palestinian. My family are still in Palestine. I will say thank you. Thank each and every one of you for coming out today. You are very much needed. My family are in the West Bank. And let's be honest here, we've had just over 300 days since the alleged ceasefire on October the 10th last year. In those 300 days, we've had over 300 of our children killed in Gaza. Is this a ceasefire? Over 267 of those 300 days, Gaza has been bombed, attacked, and the most horrific attacks. This week we had a funeral for 110, 112 of our martyrs. Where else does that happen? We saw a fetus blown out of its mother's womb, recovered from under the rubble. These are my people. The West Bank, where do I start? The increased settler attacks, over 1,380 since January this year. Our land is being burnt. Our olive trees are being torn down. Our refugee camps are being besieged and targeted. Is this a ceasefire? You must, and I'm pleading with all of you, even though numbers have reduced, You must continue to show up, to do what you can, to raise your voices, because lives, real lives, depend on it. And one thing I will say to finish off, it's important for you to demonstrate, boycott, sanction, but also invest in the Palestinians. Invest in the people that you are fighting for. Whether that means buying Palestinian produce. And this is something that I do and I sell. Because investing in Palestine is one of the biggest, most intimate forms of solidarity that you can give. And you're supporting our people, our economy, our family, our friends, our brothers, our sisters. I'll finish there, but thank you all for coming, and free, free! Free, free! From the river to the sea! Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Thank you, everybody, for them talkers and for having the patience today. We are going to be wrapping it up, but there's one thing to remember. Palestine has been the litmus test of what is going on in the world for ourselves and for the whole world, which is why the unfortunate situation that is happening in Kashmir is important, because Palestine is the litmus test, I'm telling you, for the whole of humanity. We will be wrapping this up for our Palestine side of stuff, but thank you, everybody, for coming out today. I know I briefly spoke earlier about how I went to Egypt and stuff, and we are fundraising as a group, which little Iman mentioned earlier, to open an orphanage for widows and orphans from Gaza. And I would encourage anybody, if you get any time, to go there, man, because I promise you this, man, like, when you're sat with the people of Gaza, believe you me, they know we protest. And you do not understand how much spirit it gives them. When you're sat with them and they tell you what, we think we know what happened. I sat with people from Khan Yunis, from Al Shifa Hospital, from the Flower Massacre, and I'm telling you one thing. Yeah. If there's one thing we thought we knew what happened. I'm telling you now, it's a million times worse. What happened in the north of Gaza? I was sat with a sister who's lost her whole family, right? And she was telling me how she saw her husband and two little children being eaten by dogs in the north of Gaza, where they starve them. This is reality, you know. This is not just something, a fabrication. This is a factual thing. So if anybody does want to go, please do reach out to us, because we will have another trip going out there, inshallah, in a couple of weeks and in September. Yeah, so thank you so much for that. Thank you for turning up. Keep turning up, and just remember one thing. I'll always say this again and again, man. Allah refers to people in the Quran as insan. Insan just means human being. That's all we are, that's all they are. So thank you so much. I'm going to pass it on to Ammar now, who's going to be speaking for our Palestinian brothers, about Kashmir, and he's been involved with the Palestine war. So thank you so much, everybody. And I know it's hot, so thanks for your patience, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Ammar.
Good afternoon, Dewsbury and Batley. I want to thank Imran, West Yorkshire Police, West Yorkshire for Palestine, Arif from Birmingham, who have been championing this cause for many, many years. As you all know, Palestine started in 1948, but before that, with the Balfour Agreement in 1917. Kashmir also started in 1947. Today we're gathered here not because of politics, because of humanity. On the conscience of the world, history has taught us that peace cannot be built upon oppression, nor can silence ever replace justice. The cries of innocent people cannot be ignored simply because they come from disputed lands or occupied territories. As Shahid Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto reminded the world at the United Nations, do not close your hearts, your minds to the torment of Kashmir. Those words remain as powerful today as they were spoken then. The people of Kashmir continue to seek the fundamental right promised under international law, the right to determine their own future through peaceful and democratic means. Justice delayed is justice denied, and the international community must never allow political interest to outweigh human dignity. Likewise, the people of Palestine continue to endure immense hardship while longing for peace, security, and recognition of their legitimate rights. Their suffering is not merely a regional issue, it is a test whether the world applies the same principle for justice to everyone. Like former Prime Minister Imran Khan warned the United Nations that ignoring injustice only increases the risk of instability and conflict. He urged the world leaders not to remain silent in the face of humanitarian suffering and called for action before it is too late.